Amiktamira Thami. Pleasure to meet you all. I want to welcome you all to the beginning of the Monster Hunter Highlander Language Teaching Guide. In this video, we'll go over a few of the most important basics. This includes an understanding of what the Monster Hunter language is, what it is not, how it is made, and an introduction to pronunciation. Kuragure! Let's go. What is the Monster Hunter language? It is a semi-conlang created by Capcom for the Monster Hunter video game series. You may wonder what a semi-conlang is. Allow me to explain. A conlang is a constructed language, while a semi-conlang can be defined as a conlang that is imperfect or only semi-complete. Some modern examples of conlangs are Khinwa, the elven language from Lord of the Rings, Dothraki from Game of Thrones, and Klingon from Star Trek, of which all three are quite well refined, though they were created quite deliberately. Constructed languages can also be created algorithmically or semi-deliberately, such as the language we hear Midna speak in Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, where the voice actor's dialogue is simply scrambled up. The language spoken by the gods in Shadow of the Colossus, where the words are coined but a full grammatical structure is not yet formulated, aiming more for aesthetics rather than worrying about being linguistically complete.
Was Yuhik Aurel Yek for all Ikuduibikuka Yulbzolu Iondu Yulilo Cock I Yuzi Yulakoldoloya Olik Olazulam Cause.
This is where the Monster Hunter language falls. Not quite random, but not 100% deliberate. And like the language you just heard from Shadow of the Colossus, Monster Hunter 2 is a partial conlang made up of these coined words without worrying about grammar as much. The Monster Hunter language is made two very clearly different ways depending on what it's being used for. These methods are defined by myself as the transformative method and the shift method. For the transformative method, first the Japanese script is taken and translated into another language. It is then turned back to Japanese phonetically. Then sounds are adjusted from there by an algorithm, and even further by the director or sound director. Whether the goal is to make the word fit speech length in cutscenes, make it easier for the voice actors to pronounce, or just because it sounds cooler a certain way, sounds get swapped and changed. You can see the transformation method being put into use as shown in the Monster Hunter 2023 Orchestra Program Book, and as shown, we hear this exact phrase being used in-game. Have a look. For the transformative method, yoroshiku onegaishimasu gets translated to nice to meet you. Then nice to meet you gets shifted to nice to meet you, and from there it goes through an algorithm and some human adjustments to become Eniktamira. Do this 1,000 times and you get the Monster Hunter language. This method has been used since even back in 4U, as evidenced by an interview with Fujioka, the director of 4 Ultimate. When asked about the Monster Hunter language, he responds with this: "Yes, I did. I wanted to use words that are not so familiar to the ear. First, I wrote the lyrics in Japanese and asked our localization team to translate them into French. The French lyrics were then translated into katakana, and the sound staff extracts the syllables to form coined words that are easy to sing." Kayane, the game's composer, then added that in the end, I give the coin of lyrics to Ikuko and ask her to change the lyrics if there are parts that are difficult to sing, or if there are parts that could be improved, i.e., this is the part where you use your curly tongue. For example, I prefer a curly tongue here, or T instead of chi here, etc. Also, in the Monster Hunter Orchestra 2023 program book, there is a segment that explains the words are converted into Japanese or other various languages, then converted to Japanese hiragana. From there, it is converted using an automatic conversion tool that converts hiragana to katakana using random rules. Some are used as is, but often they are adjusted by hand. They are also created with great care to ensure that they do not resemble words in other languages or other proper nouns. There are times where the transformative method works perfectly. However, in some cases, there is a second method used. So let's look at the second way the Monster Hunter language is made, because for music and other parts where the amount of syllables is crucial to ensure the lyrics or timing are spot on, the shift method is used instead. The Japanese script instead gets shifted to simply change sounds. This is by swapping each sound mora by mora. We can see this in the Dango song sung by Yomogi, or the origin of the Rampage song. But you may also notice this in the monster intros in the base version of Monster Hunter Rise. Now let's look at the original Rampage lyrics again. This might seem complicated, but let's simplify it a little. Notice how the hiragana and the katakana match up extremely closely, only save for a few instances where a longer vowel is held, in which case this was likely a change up to the singer or director based on how the song felt or sounded after the shift. If they would have used the transformation method, it would have been highly unlikely that after the translation, the shift back to Japanese, and being put through the random algorithm, that they would have resulted in getting as close as they did. Because of this shift method, it takes a lot of the randomization out of the equation and allows a song to maintain the perfect amount of syllables and avoid the time sink of getting a transformative method song lyrics to sync up properly with an already pre-existing song. These processes, though imperfect, are a lot of work, and seeing a full voiceover in the Monster Hunter language being foregone in Wilds is understandable, and would present a major time and budget hurdle for the Monster Hunter team. So please understand and restrain yourself from throwing any type of negative comments at the Monster Hunter team. We've been blessed with what Monster Hunter language we got, and I want us to appreciate all their hard work. So to the Monster Hunter team, thank you very much. Now, with all that being said, I want to discuss quickly what the Monster Hunter language is not. The Monster Hunter language is not a fully fleshed out language, as most grammar is not present or omitted. The Monster Hunter language relies on stringing together coined words, while frequently omitting particles, conjunctions, and other grammatical elements. Here's an example. Let's hear that one more time. In this sentence, many words are omitted, such as any possessive particle and the word for name, resulting in a literal translation of the Monster Hunter language dialogue to be, "That monster, Grudge Tiger Dragon, Magnamalo." This is because Ami means that, Tuturu meaning monster, and Inihiku being the full title of Magnamalo. We know Inihiku is the full title due to it showing up again later in the same scene. Thus, remember that the Monster Hunter language is a partial conlay, and much of what you hear is only part of what a full sentence should sound like. This has been remedied by finding times grammar is present and simply attributing it across the board in all unofficial material. This concludes an explanation of the Monster Hunter language. Something you might immediately wonder is why it's called Highlander or Torirage. Highlander is a word coined by myself, as the language is spoken mostly by those in the Highland mountain areas in the southeastern part of the main continent, such as Yukumo and Kamura. We know this because the same writing system can be found in both villages. In Portable Third's Yukumo village and Monster Hunter Rise's Kamura, each of these villages shares the writing system, where kanji is written upside down, mirrored, then stylized to create something brand new. This particular version of the Monster Hunter language, found in both Portable Third and Rise, is the language that will be taught in all future videos on this channel. And though I wanted to introduce you all to it, that'll have to be saved for the next video, as this video has run on long enough. I hope that you found this very informative, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments down below or reach out to me on social media such as Twitter, where I post many updates, small bits of information, and anything interesting that I might find. If you like this video, feel free to subscribe to my channel where I upload Monster Hunter language videos, and be sure to like this video and share it with any of your Monster Hunter friends who might also find this very interesting. Rusha Yanirai. Thank you for watching.